to Playbook for Performance, the official podcast of Shauna Corden, the Joan of Arc for corporate healing and performance. Join the quest to make work fun again by preparing leadership for engaging workplaces. And now, your host.
Hello and welcome, friends. I'm Shauna Corden, and I'm glad to have you here on the Playbook for Performance podcast. Our mission is to make work fun again by building better leaders. This month's theme is all about building a coaching culture. I literally wrote the book on it. If you have a specific question on building a coaching culture, email us and we can add it to our social media. Just drop a note to podcast@shaunacorden.com. Now, last week, we talked about the best version of yourself and how it relates to engagement. But today, we're talking about what is a coaching culture? What is coaching? Coaching is a way to bring out the best in others, whether we're talking about performance coaching, career coaching, sports coaching. That is the focus. It's to develop their strengths to perform at their best. For more info on this, check out our podcast, What is the Coach Approach, to learn more about leaders using coaching skills. What is culture? The dictionary defines culture as the customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. So in this case, let's think of the social group as our organization. Putting these two things together means that our organization behaves with the habits of coaching. The organization is constructed with the policies, habits, and behaviors that look and feel like coaching. What are those habits? First of all, to be curious, the opposite from judgment. And we're refraining from judgment. We assume positive intent. We analyze when the intent did not match the impact. To grow, to ask good questions, to go beyond the what and deeper into the who and the how, as well as the why. To dig deep, to ask, to create and design, to measure and adjust, to build relationships, not transactions, and to fulfill potential. And by no means is this an exhaustive list. So what might this look like in an organization? Let's use the example of an onboarding process of a new hire. Things are ready when they arrive or join. They have a desk, a login, a phone. They have a contact beyond their manager. They have access to coaching both individually and as a group. There's an onboarding process. So what's the purpose of this? We want to give them context, connection, support, and a safe space to ask questions that might not seem appropriate for their manager. We want them to have confidence in their leader and the systems. When we do this, when we have a proper onboarding process or a coaching culture, people feel welcomed and wanted. They feel as if the system is set up for them to succeed. They have the tools to do their work, and they have the training to use them. They have clarity about their work, and it's safe to ask questions. People go out of their way to welcome them and make them feel like they belong. They have the start of friends. Does the organization introduce them to the company vision? What's the goal 5 years from now? What's the mission? What's the purpose? How does it connect to the work that they do each and every day? Do they understand the goals set for them within the context of the department's goals? Do they understand the norms and behaviors of the organization? What do they go to war for? And what do they celebrate? Who are the elders? I often do an exercise from a great resource called Retreats That Work. And in this exercise, we pretend we are anthropologists who have been dropped into a jungle studying an undiscovered tribe. In this case, the tribe is the new company. How do we behave? How can our new hire acclimate as quickly as possible? If a leader and an established employee can't answer these questions about how things work and what really happens, regardless of what the posters say, then it might be time to roll up our sleeves and start documenting the values and norms, what it might be right now, and what do we aspire to. In my shorthand, I believe a coaching culture is one where coaching is part of everyone's role. It is to build up, be kind, be honest, and be our best. And to do that, leaders need to start themselves and experience true professional coaching. Then learn the skills, then make it part of the DNA, rolling it out to all employees. This experience of the coaching culture improves leadership in clarity, communication, and decision-making. It improves communication across the board, and it builds employees' resilience and engagement. And by the way, those three items, leadership, communication, and employee resilience, are the top three factors that affect the success of a change management effort. And is anybody going through change right now? Yeah, that's what I thought. So do you want to know how mature the coaching culture is in your organization? You can take my coaching culture assessment for leaders, which is also our tool of the week. It evaluates the presence of a coaching culture in elements of the areas of leadership, engagement, retention, and fundamentals. If you'd like to debrief the opportunities for your organization to grow its coaching culture, contact me at shauna@shaunacorden.com. So here's your field work, because coaching without action isn't coaching, it's just entertainment. Take the perspective of a new hire or the anthropologist who's been dropped into your company's jungle. What are you observing? What elements exist? What's missing? What signals are you sending? Document what you're doing well and what needs adjustment, and make a plan. Each week in the podcast, I like to highlight a leader doing it well in the news or from a listener, and one that had a wobble. If you'd like to nominate your organization, please email me at podcast@shaunacorden.com. Departing from that this week, I really want to bang the drum for Dan Pink's new book, The Power of Regret. Just released on February 1, we often think of regret as a drag, but we do have the ability to harness that regret to make better choices in the future. I just got my copy last week. I was a pre-order, and I was able to attend a webinar with Dan outlining his top 10 lessons learned. It was a lot of fun, and I can't recommend Dan's work enough. That's all for this week. If you like the podcast, please subscribe, give us a rating, and tell your friends. If you'd like to hear more about a topic that would make your work fun by improving the leaders in your organization, please drop us a line at podcast@shaunacorden.com. Until next week, take good care.
Thank you for listening to Playbook for Performance. To learn more about Shauna Corden, her consulting programs and tools, please visit her website at shaunacorden.com and follow us on social media at Shauna Corden.